Hey, thank you for purchasing this product from my Etsy store Excel Executive. So you start by clicking this button and this will open the settings options. But before that, you can click this and this will take you to YouTube where you are watching this video. So we'll click this and this will open the last sheet, which are the settings. You are supposed to enter these settings first before using this sheet. So I will go through these one by one. First is where you select the year from which your year starts. So if you want your year to start from June, you can choose June. If you want it to start from Jan, it can be January. Let me click that. And if you want it to start from April, you can select that as well. So I will go back to June. The next one is the tax reserve. So the sheet is set up in such a way that when you enter any income, then it will deduct this much percentage from that income. So this will create a reserve. Every time you earn something, you will take this money and you will not spend it, so that at the end of the year you have all the money that you require to pay your taxes. Now keep this in mind that this is a general working, and of course when you are ready to pay your taxes, you have to consult your financial advisor. This will just give you a rough idea how much you are supposed to reserve whenever you earn something, and when you have that money with you at the end of the year, you won't have much difficulties. This is the monthly salary that you are targeting. So as a freelancer, of course, the income is not regular. You don't get the same amount every month, but this is a good way in which you can create a target and you will try to achieve this every month. And once we go to the dashboard, you will see how this works. The next is the goals target entry. So you can have various goals for which you would like to save money. So you will enter those goals here. So the first one is the serial numbers. This will get populated automatically. Then you will enter the goal, what you are trying to achieve, its start date, its target date. This means that, let's say in the first example, you would like to buy a new MacBook. So the start date is this and the target date is this. So between these dates, you would like to save $1,000, so that at the end of 15 June 2026, you can buy this product. And then there are other goals here mentioned as well. The next is the income source and category entry. So the income sources, you will enter them here, and the income categories, you will enter them here. And the same will be reflected in the income sheets and in the dashboard. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind that, of course, this is dummy data, and when you will enter your data, this is how I would go about it. This is the column header. This is a table in Excel. So this is the column header and these are the entries. So what you would do is that you will leave the first entry, you will select the remaining entries, you will go to the home tab, you will click the delete button and you will click delete table rows, because all of these are tables, and this will delete the rows from this table only. And then you want to enter your own income streams here. So you might say my income source 1, and then they will get populated. I'm just going to undo that. I just wanted to show you that how you are supposed to enter your own data in this. Next one is the income categories. Here you will enter all the categories, and of course these will be visible in the dashboard as well. Next are the expenses parts. So here you will enter your business expense categories. Here you will enter your personal expense categories, and here you will enter the payment methods that you will use while paying these expenses. So once this is set up, and this is the last sheet, as you can see, you will go to the first sheet. This will be the income log. So here you have two types of columns. You have some formula driven. In this sheet, only this column is formula driven, and for all of these columns you are supposed to do the entries yourself. And I have made this as simple as possible so that you don't have to enter everything all the time. So first is the date. So the date on which you received something, your income, the source, which is a drop down coming from the settings page. Then you have the description. Here you will write the description of that income that you received. If you want to write the invoice number, you can write that, it's optional. Then you will select the income category. This is again coming from the settings page as a drop down. Let me show you that again. So these are the income sources, client 1, 2, and these are the income categories, client work, etc. So let me show you that again. So income source, again, client 1, 2, Etsy and Upwork, and here the categories, client work, and so on and so forth. And of course, because you can change them in the settings page, so this can be customized as per your requirements. Here you will write the amount that you have received, and the tax reserve will be calculated automatically. Now this percentage is entered by you in the settings page. So right now it is taking out 28% from each income, and this is creating a tax reserve. So the assumption is that out of $900 that you earned, you are not supposed to spend $252. You are supposed to keep that in your account so that at the end of the year you can pay them as taxes. This is the income sheet. The next would be the expenses log. Here again you will write the date on which the expenses occurred, its description, what that expense is. You have to type it here. Here you will select the type, is it personal or business? If you select personal, then you will have the personal expense category types here. If you select business, then you will see the expense business types here. Again, these were created by you in the settings page. These are these two, the business expense category and the personal expense categories. So you will enter those expenses here. Let me go back. So here you will enter the date, you will write the description, you will type it, you will select the type, is it a personal expense or a business expense? You will select the category, you will type in the amount, you will select the payment method, again coming from the payment setting, and then you will mark if this is a deductible expense or not. So if it is a deductible expense, then we will take that amount out of your income, and then that will become your taxable income, out of which the tax will be calculated. The next is the goals log. So let me explain this by going back to the settings page. Here you have entered your goals. So these are the 4 goals. These are their start dates, these are their end dates, and this is what you would like to achieve at the end of these dates. And of course you can change them here. So here you will enter the actual amounts that you save on a specific day. So again, these 3 columns are where you're supposed to do the entries. These are where your entries required, and all of these are formula driven. So let me go through them one by one. The first is the date. You will enter the date. Here you will select the goal name from the drop down. Now this is coming from the settings sheet. This is the amount that you have added to this specific goal on this specific date. And then this will give you some additional information. How much have you saved till date? Are you behind, or are you on track? This will become much clearer when we go to the dashboard. Then you will have the target till date. This will be explained in the dashboard as well, and this is your final target. And then I have a date warning. So if you enter a date here which is outside the target date, then it will give you a warning here. Let me give you an example. So here you have added $120 on 10th Jan of 2026 for your new MacBook Pro, and this is within the range. Let me show you what I mean by this. So you are supposed to save money from 5th December till 15th June. So if you added this on 4th December 2025, it would have shown you a warning. Let me show you how this works. So if I type in here December 4/25, you will see that it is showing you a warning that it is outside the planned dates. So in this case, what you are supposed to do is that you are supposed to adjust the dates by going to the settings page, or you are supposed to enter the correct date here. This is just a warning. This will not have any impact on your savings, but of course this is a very nice visual indicator so that you know that you are within the range. The next is the main sheet, the dashboard. It has 3 distinct parts. First is the income part, which starts from here and ends till here. This whole is the income part. Then you have the expenses part. Now this whole is your expenses part. This whole bit are your expenses, and then this last part is your net position. So by net position, we simply mean that the income minus expenses, what you are left with. So you have 2 drop downs here. First is the year, where you will select the year, and if you want to see the view for a specific month, you will select the month from here. Now this will give you the dates for the financial year that you have selected. So because in the settings we are saying that the financial year is going to start from June, that is why it is saying that it is going to start from June till May. This 2025 comes from this drop down. If I change it from 2025 to 2026, it will change it to 26 to 27 and so on and so forth. So in this way you will get the complete view. Again, it says June to May. Let's say if I change it to April, from June, if I change it to, let's say, April, and go back to the dashboard, it will show you all the data from April 25 to March 26. It will update automatically, which is obviously a very nice feature of this product. I will change it back to June because I have data entered from June to May. So in the first part, in the income part, you have the total income that you have. This is the amount that you have reserved for paying taxes. This is the amount that you have reserved for your goals. So this is coming from the goals log from here for this specific period. And when we minus this annual income from this tax reserve, from this reserve for goals, then this is the amount that you have available to spend. The next is the monthly salary target. This is coming from your settings sheet here, $1,500. And below this is the 3-month average. This is a rolling average. This is not going to change even if you change the years or the months. So this is the 3-month average, this is the 6-month average, and this is the 12-month average. So in this product, you are supposed to consider the 6-month average as your benchmark. So this is your actual income on a monthly basis that you are receiving. Now, if this is satisfactory, it is more than good. If this is not as per your expectations, then you are supposed to take certain steps to ensure that you get better, that you increase your income, and so on and so forth. This is the tax position. So right now, because we have only selected the year, this is going to give you the data for the whole year. And if you select a specific month, it will give you the data for a specific month. Whenever you select a month, the whole dashboard basically updates. So we will go back to the year. So for the year, this is the gross income. These are the business deductions. So all of the expenses which have been marked as deductible, they will be calculated here. So we will minus this from this, and this is the income on which tax is going to be applicable. Now you are saying the tax is going to be applied at 28%. So this is the 28%, and if you minus this, then this is the reserve so far, and so this is the tax liability for this year. So this is what you are supposed to pay. And because you have reserved 28% from every income, you actually have saved $1,700. So you actually have over reserved. You have an extra $170 when it comes to your tax liabilities. Again, like I mentioned here, this is an estimate only. When you are supposed to pay your taxes, you are supposed to talk to your financial advisor. Next are the income by categories. So the income for the whole year, 6,165, was broken down by income categories here. And if you want to see a specific value, you hover over that bar and it will show you. So for example, the platform income consists of $2,611. This is the amount that you reserve for goals. For MacBook Pro, you have saved $365. For this, you have saved $300. For this designer bag, you have saved $600, and so on and so forth. And next is the goal progress detail. I will show you here right now. So if you click this, it will show you a very nice view on the progress of your goals. So I will go back to the dashboard. Once I'm done with the dashboard, I will go back there to give you the details how that dashboard works. The next are the expenses. Here it will show you the annual expenses, out of which how much were business expenses, how much were personal expenses. This is the bifurcation of business expenses by their categories. This is the bifurcation of personal expenses by their categories. And this is a chart of income versus expenses for the whole year. So from June till May, from June 2025 till May 2026. And if you want to again see a specific value, you hover over it and it will show you the exact value for that month. The next is a very nice chart. Here it will show you that where your income went this year. If you select a specific month, let's say if I select a specific month, then of course it will show you where your income went that specific month. So of course it is dynamic, it will get updated automatically. So if I go down here again, here whatever you earned, that is, you earned $6,165, and out of which this much went to tax reserve, this much went to reserve for goals, this much went into business expenses, and this much went into personal expenses. And if you minus 6165 from all of these amounts, then you will get the annual net position. So after doing all of these expenses and and also by reserving these amounts, at the end, this is what you are left with, $1,000, $1,049. That is your net position. And this is the month-wise bifurcation as well. So income minus expenses for June gave you 404, for July 633, and so on and so forth. In some months you went negative, and of course this is dummy data. When you will start entering your own data, you will get an accurate financial picture when it comes to your income and your expenses. It will give you the positive months, it will give you the negative months, and it will give you the value of the best month as well, and the name of the best month. So in July 2025 you made a net position of $633. Now this is the legend. So dark green is strong surplus, good surplus, acceptable, warning, and critical. And one thing you have to understand is that these are relative. So let's say on average your net position is $5,000, and in a month you earn a net position of $1,000. It will show critical here because it will always calculate relative to how much your maximum net position is. So this is the complete dashboard. Now I will go to the goal progress. Here you have three parts. You have the total target. Let's say an example of the MacBook Pro. So you have the total target, which is you want to save $1,000. If I go back, this is coming from the settings page. This is what you want to save, $1,000. If I go back to the dashboard, go back to the goal progress, you are supposed to save $1,000. Up until today, savings till date, actual savings, you have been able to save $365. Now this is coming from your goals log. So if I go here, if I go to the MacBook Pro, the last entry, so up until this point you have saved $365. If I highlight these three, you can see that the sum is $365. So you have been able to save $365, and this much is the amount that you were supposed to save up until this point. So what happens is that if I go back to the settings page, it will take the start date, the target date, and then it will calculate that out of $1,000 how much you would have saved as of today. So if I go here, so as of today you would have saved $858. So the solution is that maybe you change the target date, maybe you change the amount, and so on and so forth, but this is what is happening. In the case of a designer bag, the situation is different. The total amount that you want to save is $800. You have saved $600, and you were supposed to save $591 up until this point, and of course that is why you are in a very good position. And let me show you this from the goals log. If you go to the MacBook Pro, the status is behind, and when it comes to the designer pack, you are on track, and for holiday in Portugal and for the emergency fund, you are also behind. Let me show you that again from the dashboard. So again, holiday in Portugal, you were supposed to save $1,800 in total. You have saved $300. You were supposed to save as of today $443. Same goes for the emergency fund. The total is $1,500. You have saved $150, and you were supposed to save $514 up until this point. So this is again a detailed dashboard when it comes to your goal progress. So this is the product. Once again, thank you for purchasing, and have a nice day.